Tell me a little bit about how you guys are seeing 2021, or should I say the balance of 2021, and how the recovery is going over at Remington, and how did you guys kind of fare through that, I guess, based on your tenure there?
For what I call myself a data geek, it's been quite an interesting side. It's like kind of watching, a meteorologist observe out a hurricane is coming. So it's been kind of an interesting take on the recovery, and I'll give you some examples. In the first quarter, we didn't quite know how the year was going to turn out, and again, that was probably at the beginning of the beginning of supposed recovery of the pandemic, vaccinations and things like that. We did not expect that by the end of March, things would recover a lot faster and very different than what we thought it would be. So leisure hotels started doing amazing numbers. We actually kept on breaking records in April, May, June, July. To give you an idea, we have about 7 hotels that in the month of July recorded historic RevPAR numbers. And some of that had to do with the fact that there's been a multitude of different factors why that has happened. One is it's all leisure driven. You have these pent up demand, right? But also it has to do with how the states opened up. So the states that opened up early, then they also benefited from that demand. So no surprise, Florida has had historic numbers. In revenues, in average rate, in every single metric. Texas has done very well. Arizona has done very well. So the states that actually opened up and they happen to be more leisure driven also had a great benefit with regards to revenues, because people basically flock to it, right? So we had less demand, but that less demand went to a very small subset of areas. So to give an example, in 2020, out of the top 25 markets, the #1 market for growth was Virginia Beach. Really? I would never have expected Virginia Beach to be on the top. And then you had, for example, Virginia Beach was one, then Tampa was another one. And then if you take a look at, for example, out of the top right now, cities with regards to occupancies and revenues and production performance, have to do with Florida. There's, I think, 5, 6 out of the top 10, 25 markets. And then you're going to have, Dallas has done very well. Again, Virginia Beach has done very well. Arizona has done very well because, again, people want to go on vacation to a place where they are not restricted by mandates or whatever the case it is, whether you are vaccinated or not. The other interesting thing has happened is that you talk about age groups, right? So senior citizens vaccinated first, but the older senior citizens are not traveling because they still feel that they are exposed. But if you take a look at, for example, the age gap of let's say late 50s and 60s, they high net worth individuals that also want to travel and they're also vaccinated. They started to travel quite a bit. You also had the younger generation, which again was either fresh out of college, may or may not have a job, may have had some disposable income. They're traveling quite a bit. So you're getting a significant amount of people who may or may not have traveled before, and you're getting basically weekends. Right now, I can tell you that in the month of July, we were already at full recovery for the United States on weekends. We recorded 82% occupancy in the month of July, if I'm not mistaken, countrywide.
Wow.
Now, and that is regardless of where you are located, urban, suburban, whatever the case it is. The weekdays is the part that has not recovered as much. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that weekdays are significantly being more prone into corporate group, corporate business transient, which are the ones that have lagged behind in terms of recovery.
The business traveler, yep.